join the committee, where coaches turn on camera like pros, ain't no pity. From first take jitters to spotlight hitters, we got your back when the light's a little bitter. Pro tips on angles, mics and frame control. No more oops, I'm muted, that's out of your console. You'll learn to own the stage, turn nervous into swagger. We're hype, we're real, we mix hustle with a little banter. This is just the start, your journey's in ignition. With the committee fam, we fuel your ambition. Rise up, shine bright, let your confidence glow. With the committee crew, you'll steal every show. From practice to live, we got the keys to your flow. New member in the house, let's rock it.
Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Step into the world where your vision's unfurled. Ecamm Live's on the scene, let your story be heard. Drag, drop, connect, a tech symphony. Broadcasting live in high quality. Multicam magic, switch it on the go. From your Mac to the world, let your visual show. Overlay graphics, scene switching slick. With Ecamm Live, no editing, and that's the trick. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Interviewing guests from near and far, from local to global, you're a streaming star. Green screen effects, transport your space, custom backgrounds, hide your digital place. Stream to YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook Live. Ecamm's versatility, man, it helps you thrive. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Analytics in view, see your message spread. Comments on the screen, every word can be read. Record, repurpose with ridiculous ease. Clip from social media, spread your message like a breeze. No heavy edits, save your precious time. Ecamm Live, the rhythm to creators rhyme. From hobbyists to pros, it's a tool to choose. Ecamm Live, the platform where you never lose. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction. Lights, camera, live in action. Ecamm's the key to your satisfaction. Lower thirds, overlays, getting traction. You post, they engage, it's a chain reaction.
My friends, hold on. How is everyone doing today? Everything is like it's excitement. It's happening all right now. We're going to get right into it, and I wanted to just do a quick introduction of myself for some new viewers out there who may not know me. My name is Lion FLUD Flood, and I am your virtual branding expert. I'm the person that teaches you to look, sound, perform, and hype up your virtual presence. Because after all, if people are bored, they don't want to be a part of something. But I also show you how to look good, how to sound well, how to present yourself in a professional manner so that you sound like you deserve the money that you're about to ask for, right? So today's training is going to be very simple. But as I told you all, virtual branding expert, I am kind of like Yoda would say, right? Hit it backwards. Today's training is going to be very quick, simple. We're going back to some of the basics. I'm not going to give you any of that fluff stuff. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. So to put you in the question format, if you do have questions in this format, do me a favor. I want you to put them in this style with a Q, a colon, then your question. If you don't, then I don't get to see your question. It's as simple as that. It goes into another section with the comments. I still get to see it, but it looks like a comment to me. I specifically look at questions so I can make sure I answer them. So if you want your question answered, Q colon, then put your question. Make sure. I'm pretty sure I just put that there. Did I not? I think I did. Let's see. But if not, it's okay. We'll put it right back there. So today we're going to be going over, and make sure I get this on screen for you. Oh, wait. Is that it? Was that it? No, that's another one. Ah, okay. Got it. All right. So today we're going to be going over, let me adjust this here really quick. Lights, camera, and a couple little zoom things that you can do as well, right? Like the song said, lights, camera, live in action, eCam. All right, so we're gonna jump right into that. And please, at any point, if you have a question, if you have a comment, throw it inside there. I get to that as possible. Let's go. Let go. Are we ready? Are we ready? Oh, let me do this thing because I have to remember this now. I'm working on some new things. I am transforming almost everything that we were doing before and rebuilding it. So I'm learning some new things here. All right, so let's get live. That's my new song.
Jerusalema ikhaya lami ilondoloze uhambe nami.
Hey, you with me? Look at that. Switch scenes like that. You didn't even see it coming. All right. So we're doing introducing, go live, show up, and show out. We're going to be talking about some really quick stuff to help you out. Camera positioning, lightings. I'm going to tell you a couple of little secrets and some things you ought to get rid of right away. So we're going to start off simply by saying, hey, are you ready to spice up your live life? Right? Let's spice it up because let's be honest. How many of you out there are pretty much bored with your own presentation? You've done it so much, you're frustrated, you're burnt out because people aren't showing up, they're not engaging, they're not doing all of that stuff. Well, this will be some of the ways that will help you out because sometimes we just have to go back to the basics. So we're spicing up our live life. Now, it's not as easy as it looks. I know people see my stuff and they see it flowing and they see it going. I make mistakes all the time, but I'm not going to draw attention to it all the time, right? No lie goes without a hitch all of the time. A lot of them are still good. They work, flawlessly, but not as easy as it looks. So quality lighting, camera placement. We're going to go over a couple of backgrounds and maybe I'll throw in a bonus. We're not going to stay too long. Like I said, I'm going to go right through this since it's the basics. So if you have questions here on the live or if you have questions afterwards, go ahead and send them out. Let me just double check this here. With that, let's talk effective lighting and camera setup. We're going to start with the lighting first, I think. We're going to start with the lighting, and then we will continue from that. Before I do that, let me tell you what I don't want you to use. And if you're using it, it's okay. Keep using it until you can find something that's more effective. And I say effective because I don't want to use the word better necessarily, because what's better for one is not for the other, but more effective. We're going to talk about, right quick, a 3-point lighting system. What does that mean? Where to put your lights at so that they work best for you, right? More effectively for you. So the yellow dot is, think of that as you, right? Or if you're running production, think of that as your client. So we want to have um, a fill light, a key light, and then a backlight. What this means is that gray dot, that's your camera. You're gonna have lights to the side, and then I'll show you one of my setups that I use. Used to use, and I have changed it up a little bit. In the backlight, shoulder light, hair light, different names you might have heard these from. But this is the general gist of that lighting system. Okay, two lights to the side, and then one behind you to highlight your shoulders, your hair, and it does make a difference. And I'll show you in a second. But here's another look at it so you can see. So now, person sitting there in their chair, their yoga positions in and out, doing their presentation, and you've got a key light, and that is usually about a 45-degree angle, and it's at the brightest setting. Now, please think of this also as there's always exceptions to the rules. You don't directly have to have it at your brightest setting if your room, if your setup works a little bit different. Right? With that, then your fill light, medium 50 to 75% is what they usually say. And then your backlight is where you're going to use some diffusion to kind of break that strength up and so forth. But this is another look at how it can kind of work for you in this situation to make it a little bit easier for you as you go down this path. Now let's talk camera placement because that's pretty simple, right? Hey, I put a light to my left, I put a right light to my right, and then I got maybe one behind me that's shining a little bit different, right? You can work on that. But let's talk about camera placement. Where should your camera be at? Your camera is going to determine, well, your camera placement is going to be determined by one, what type of camera you're using. If you're using a webcam, you really don't have too many places you can move it without moving your computer. If you're using an external webcam, one you plug in, USB or something else, you have some options of where you can move it, and you can adjust a little bit about that. One of the things that most people still do, even if they have a webcam, they don't think about, you can put that webcam on a tripod. It does not have to be directly in front of you on top of your computer. You can move it to the left, to the right. You can move it back a little bit, move it above your computer line, what I highly suggest. And that gives you some depth of field. It gives you a little bit more of a bokeh, blur, or not directly because it's the camera that does the bokeh. For those who don't know, bokeh means it's that blur that sometimes you see behind someone where it looks beautiful and it's blurry but not distorted. That's kind of what bokeh is. But in general, your camera should be a good 3 to 5 feet away from you, right? Just in general, even if you have it to the sides. But here is an example of my old setup, right? What I used to have. And I have my lights pretty much in a similar space. I have my camera setups kind of similar as well. I don't use 3 monitors any longer. I use two. Mm, Well, technically, I still have three, but I don't use the third monitor for that. But um, that's kind of my setup. Let's take a look at one of my partners, past clients who have their setup where I speak about it does not have to be overcomplicated. All right. So um, she's using 2 monitors, which we always suggest. If you can get a second monitor, it doesn't have to be a computer. Those are just monitors that come to the side of her computer. All right. Then you can just hook them up so that way you can see things differently. With the setup, very simple but effective, right? Her mic is right in front of her. She's using a Stream Deck that we always talk about, suggest, and teach on as well. And then she has her light sources. She has a lamp that's also highlighting some things as well. And then she has the light source that we speak of. And I'm going to show you that. Matter of fact, let me step away from this for 1 second because I want to really emphasize right here. If you're using the key light, get rid of it. Or excuse me, a ring light. If you're using a ring light, get rid of it. That's those lights that have that circle. It does not give you flattering looks, and I'll show you an example of how it looks when it changed the lighting here, so you'll be able to see that. Okay. If you're using a ring light with that circle, get rid of it, especially if you're wearing glasses. How many times do we see someone in a reflection with their glasses and that ring light's in their glasses? It's horrible. It distracts from your audience, and I know you don't understand it and see it, but it does. And all of our research and studies, it shows people do not like it. They're very distracted. So here's what I want you to use. You use a key light, something like this. Now, this is a key light from Elgato. It can be different ones. This is portable. It sits right on a desk. And if you hear this, it has a diffusion on it. So now the light comes out softer. It comes out more. People often say, this will help you get that beautification thing, right? Get a small light. This is Elgato's key light. Let me see if I can put that there so you can see it. You can pick one up. No affiliation with me. I don't sell these or get any commission from it. So I'm just suggesting. I have some different ones now. I started with this, but as you improve and grow, your equipment and your stuff should as well. So this is what I highly suggest. So now this sits right on the side of my face like this, and then there's another one over on this side at those angles that we spoke about a little bit earlier. So now back to where we were. Simple setup. You guys can see that there, and how effective. Okay, so let's take a look at how that looks when I was telling you a second ago, right? So sits right on the desk, webcam on top. It's movable, monitor, computer, stream deck again, and we have the two lights sitting on each side so that it effectively highlights both sides of your face. Right? Any questions so far? Put them in there. I'll be looking to check and see here in just a moment. I see some comments coming through, but no questions as of yet. All right, so let's talk camera placement. We spoke about this and touched on it a little bit earlier, but the position of your camera should be eye level, maybe slightly above. That's where I have mine. Not too much where you're looking up like this, because you'll still be looking at your audience, and I'll show you why that is, seeing that chin and all that other stuff. Generally, most flattering position creates engaging connection, right? So I can look often, too often, we see people doing this number. And now that I say, I'm never going to be able to look at a virtual presentation again without seeing it. So most people look at the camera, they look at the monitor like this as they're talking. Why? Because they see your face. And they're talking to your face. Their brain thinks. But you see me looking down, and you can't build trust. Not truly, right? You've always been told, look smart in the eye. So what happens is this right here, where now, and I'll show you an example of that there as well. But now when I come here to look at the camera, at you, yeah, I don't see your face directly, but I'm looking right at you. You feel like I'm talking to you, right? So that is one of the biggest things, and I'll show you how to correct that and some ways to adjust from that there, right? But that is one of the biggest things that you can do there. All right. So now let's go back into that portion there so I can show you a little bit more that helps you out within that camera position. We always hear someone has to be able to feel they can do that, and part of that is from looking you directly in the eye. We're going to come back to a few of those, but I wanted to talk to you really quick about backgrounds. Your background does not have to be fancy, but I'm going to tell you right now, if you're using blurred background, you should stop. It is such a distracting factor, feature, whatever they want to call it. because most people blurs backgrounds, especially in Zoom, suck. Okay, they do not look good. They do not highlight you, especially when you're holding up something, you're moving something, you're trying to show a book, a product, whatever. It does not look appealing, and it's very tough for you to then go and ask someone to purchase a product from you. Think about that, right? It's the same way as your store. Right? If I walked into your physical store and it's distorted and disheveled, and I'm like, I don't know if your warranty policies are going to be cool, but when I bring it back, because you don't even have organization, etc. Right? So here's an example of a background we used to use, but I wanted to show you just the strength of this, and then I'll show you another one as well here in a second. These are not virtual backgrounds that you're looking at; they're physical backdrops. Camera photographers use them. Uh, two thumbtacks, put them up on the wall. Guess what? It transformed the feeling. Then I hung two pictures on the side, and you see that one of my main pictures. And guess what? I don't have to worry about people not seeing or seeing what's behind me, and that's why most people blur it out. Position yourself up against a wall. You don't have to have your computer facing your entire living room, facing your entire bedroom. Put yourself up against a white wall, brown wall, whatever color it is, and then put one of these backdrops up. You get them directly off Amazon, and you don't have to worry about something. This, pictures add a little bit more of a feel to it, right? Live feel. And you can see the difference in the color and how that looks. And that's again going into settings, but I want to show you how one picture just look kind of bland, just color correction or nothing. Second one, and all of these again, we're doing basics, so it can be done inside your computer. So you can't, oh, I don't know how to do it. Find someone to teach you how to do it, hire someone to do it for you, or learn yourself. Stop making excuses and just execute, right? It's your money, it's your business, it's your job. Rely on no one else to do it except you, right? But see how the two pictures side by side look so much different. Body language. So much of our expression is done through body language, and we don't know it. And when you sit in front of your virtual computer or your virtual screen, you effectively have body language that is being sold, that is being said, and showing confidence, and you just don't know it. So, but body language and expressiveness. So let's talk eye contact within that body language. That's one of the main things as well. Make sure when you're doing it, look directly into the camera lens, directly into your webcam lens. And I'll show you one of the tricks I teach students when they first starting, and I first started as well. Again, it creates the impression of making eye contact with the audience, and you avoid constantly checking yourself on the screen. We talked about that earlier, right? Looking down, staying down, right? You're not talking to your audience when you watch uh let's just say a newscast or something like that. The newscasters are not looking down at the monitor, they're looking directly in the camera. How would you feel if the weather person was looking down and telling you what the weather is going to be? You might not trust them, right? Oh, most people don't trust weather people now, but you know what I mean, right? So let's take a look at some of the ways. Here we are, and with some past students and clients, where each of them are looking at the computer when they're talking, right? So we took the video, took photos of when they're speaking, and we put them in this position. Look at this. They're all looking down. What feeling does that give you? And here I was looking, and again, using that background that we talked about earlier, and I'm staring directly inside of it. If you use a background, and you can use an open space in a background, a living room, and so forth like that, um, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And their backgrounds are great. There's one there that I talk about with a window that you should never directly sit with the window behind you to the side, sunlight. My window is right over here to my left, so that sun is naturally coming. We'll talk about lighting there in just a second as well. And but they're all looking at the monitor, right? The screen that doesn't look good. Now, let's take a look at a couple of students where a couple of clients, um, we're looking directly into the camera. Look at the different feel, right? Look at the smile. Look at the just the confidence when they're doing it. And again, look at me in that background, right? Quick eye, I like that big time. So make sure those look good. I suggest a teleprompter. That's what I use. I look directly into my camera, and my guests, my attendees, are inside of my teleprompter. That's what they use at news stations. You can invest into a teleprompter. They're not like what some people think, thousands of dollars. You don't need those. You can get some 20 bucks, $100. But again, we get what we pay for. So take a look at an example of one that I suggest for people using a laptop, right? $100, and it goes right on top of your laptop screen. And now you can read your script. You can see people's face at the same time. But I even have a more effective one that I'm going to suggest for you here right now. And I am an affiliate with this company, so I highly suggest them. Let me see if I can get that in the chat here really quick. There we go. So I placed that inside of the chat for you all. And what I want you to do is I want you to go take a look at those. This is Icon Tact that I'm about to show you here coming up right now. This is what I want you all to take a look at, right? And you know, I think I've got, let me see if I can find that really quick to show you what this looks like. Did I put it here? You know what? I don't think I did. I think, you know what? Let me find it. That's okay. It wasn't a part of what I was going to do today, but I want to find it and I want to show you all. But think it, again. Um, oh, you know what? No, did I put it? I think I'm trying to remember where I put it at really quick here, and if not, I'll go to the other one. But I thought I put it there. And again, this wasn't set, so I'm kind of riffing, as they say in the music, right? Is that what they say? All right, hold on. Let me try it this way. So let me go here really quick. This first one is not going to be it because that's um actually, you know what? Let me do this. I'm going to show you a feature of Ecamm, which this is being brought to you by as well, and that you won't be able to notice. Okay. So while I'm doing that, uh, and speaking of Ecamm, if anyone's looking for a way to stream more powerfully, more intently, I am going to show you um, how that's done um, here. Let's see. Did I put that here as well? It's going. It's going. No. Oh, wait. There we go. That's it. Let's see. And if not, I'll just come right back to you. No biggie. Hmm. It's going to be um it's going to be there.
A video podcast but don't know where to start. Maybe you've been podcasting for a while, but you're bored with the traditional audio only format. Either way, I've got just the thing. Ecamm Live is the number one easily create professional looking video podcasts. But why? They're more engaging for your audience. And video like to stick around and become part of your community. Let me show you just how easy it is with Ecamm Live. You can drag and drop graphics right onto your show to make it more professional. Your co-hosts or guests, bringing them onto your show is a breeze. You can even tweak the look of your guest video no matter where they are. And
Publish. All right, so here we are. I was going to show you the commercial for this here. I have it set, but I'm gonna put it in here next time so I make sure I remember. All right, but here's a little tip that I always tell people to do when they first start. I took a post-it note and I put it on my webcam on my computer, and it reminded me, look here, this is where I need to look at, right? Little quick, little simple thing where people will be able to see it and remember it as they go, right? It forces your brain to look there. It's going to be weird at first, but it does. All right, so I'm going to skip down a little bit. I was going to go through another part there, but I'm going to skip down really quick to show you something that you're able to do inside of Zoom that will help you out. So let's go back here and then here. Here. Very shortly. It should be in the camera. Make sure the flow is it under this one? No. Yeah, no. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay. I know what I did with it. So it is there. There it is. All right. So inside of Zoom. So let's talk Zoom here really quick because that's where most people go and do. This can apply for other streaming platforms, but I'm speaking to Zoom just directly because this is what's inside there. Now, oh, you know what? Yeah, we'll stick there. So inside of Zoom, there is an app that's called SPX Graphics for Zoom. Okay, I'm not going to go too deep into this, but I'm going to highly suggest that you look into this and for this, all right? Because this will essentially upgrade your Zoom presentations where you can now stand out in a meeting, network meeting, a group function different from other people. And while that's going, I want to show you an example of what this feeling looks like